This is a remote and off-the-beaten-track Poort about 40 kilometers to the east of Pypmaker in the Northern Cape. There's a small tricky section near the summit, but for most of the rest of this Poort it's fairly easy going with few sharp corners. Along the flatter sections there's a fair amount of soft sand, and in the summer months vehicles without four-wheel drive might well experience traction issues. The Poort is quite long at 5.7 kilometers and displays an altitude variance of 138 meters, which converts into an easy average gradient of 1 in 41. The steeper parts near the summit are at 1 in 7. The big attraction to drive this remote Poort is the substantial quiver tree forest that it traverses at its northern end. Many respected resources on the internet list Bailey's Pass with Pypmaker support in brackets as the alternative name. This is completely incorrect, as Pypmaker support, although fairly close to Bailey's Pass, is on a different road altogether. Your navigation needs to be good to find this pass, and a GPS loaded with tracks for Africa is a prerequisite. Make sure you've punched in all the waypoints provided. The pass can be approached from the west via Pypmaker or from the east from the R355. The western approach involves traversing both the Pypmaker and Bailey's passes. At the northern start there's a wide valley surrounded by low granite bouldered hills. These hills play host to hundreds of quiver trees. Stop here, but note that there's no shade, and enjoy this wild and wonderful landscape for a few moments. The air is almost always still and quiet here, and the sense of peace is quite palpable. The kwikkerboom, or in English the quiver tree, is so named from the Khoi and San, who used to use the hollowed trunks of this tree as a receptacle for their arrows. From the northern start the road bends away through an easy 90-degree right-hand bend into the south and heads along a wide sandy-bottomed valley. In summertime the sand will be soft here, and four-wheel drive is the right mode to tackle this drive. Although the road feels level, it's actually ascending continuously at a gentle gradient of around 1 in 40. The neck, which can be seen from a long distance away, is the summit goal. There are 5 or 6 small curves along the ascent, but none of them require much slowing down. Speed should, however, be kept below 40 km per hour all along this road, as there are some washaways and deep sandy patches which appear without warning. At the 2.8 km mark, the road bends sharply to the left through a 90-degree corner, and the gradient immediately gets steeper at 1 in 14. The next 500 meters is quite tricky, and speed is best taken down to 20 km per hour, as there are some deep ruts and axle twisters to contend with. Halfway up this little climb, the road reaches its steepest gradient at 1 in 7. Just before the summit, there's a closed but not locked farm gate. Close the gate once you've driven through. Note the sign on the right-hand side of the gate warning about farm animals on the road. After the gate, the direction remains into the southeast, but the gradients remain steep at 1 in 7. The distance from the gate to the summit is 110 meters. The summit looms suddenly at the 3.3 kilometer mark, revealing a wide plain stretching away as far as the eye can see. In the center of this plain, there's a farm called Fontein, which is just visible about 3 kilometers away, and which point marks the southern end of the Poort. If you're into landscape photography, this is a very good spot to capture the essence of Namaqualand's vast open plains. After the summit, the road curves to the left and descends quite steeply for 400 meters, after which the gradients gradually ease off as the road descends steadily towards the farm. The Poort officially ends at the 5.7 kilometer mark at an altitude of 819 meters. 100 meters after the farmhouse, the road crosses the major river in the area, the Buffelsrivier. Namaqualand is popular with both local and international tourists during early springtime, when for a short period this normally arid area becomes covered with a kaleidoscope of color during the flowering season. This is known throughout South Africa as the Namaqualand daisy season, when orange and white daisies as well as hundreds of other flowering species spring up from a previously barren landscape.